Good evening, SFLm Nation. Welcome to Annapolis, Maryland, just around the corner from the U.S. Naval Academy Museum for tonight's game between the Lincoln Rattlesnakes and the Annapolis Navigators. This is your play-by-play announcer, Chad Rowland, and joining me in the booth tonight is none other than Mickey Malello. So, Mickey, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing well, Chad. Looking forward to this game between the Rattlesnakes and the Navigators. It didn't start off too well, but I'm looking forward to see what these two teams can do against each other.
Yeah, Annapolis last week taking a pounding from the Albuquerque Adams, 34-0, looking to rebound back. Quarterback Gene Struthers looking to get this offense going. Meanwhile, Lincoln taking a loss also last week as well to Lexington, 37-20. So both of these teams needing to come out and get a win here to get the season momentum changed.
That's absolutely true, and it's very odd to think about that. Lincoln has the third most points on offense average right now at 20.5 points per game, but yet they are still just 1-3 on the season.
Yeah, and they had some pretty decent scoring games this season, but they're going to be taking on a defense that's been giving up quite a few rushing yards and passing yards as well, ranked 6th in the league for those stats. All right, and this is a special game tonight because you have a Rambler and a Sasquatch in the booth. And let's kick this off. Beautiful night here tonight, 59 degrees here in Maryland. And that is going to be returned back to the 32-yard line. And you're going to see Lincoln come out with the first time with quarterback Kenny Slider, 6'4", 225. And he's looking to get this Lincoln offense going. And we're going to be bringing it to the line here. 1st and 10 on the 32. Gun set, 4 wide receivers to start the game. Slider hits the check down, and that is going to be a gain of about 2, and that was to Logan Lee, the starting running back.
And Logan Lee did make a little name for himself in the minors last season. It's good to see him back out in the field this year. Let's see if he could make the draft this year and get into the big league.
There's a look at Geno McFly, the outside linebacker there for Annapolis. I formation set here for the Rattlesnakes. And there's going to be the first run of the night for Logan Lee. It looks like he is stopped just at the line. Good tackle there. And let's go through this Lincoln offense. Kenny Slider at quarterback, Logan Lee at running back, Kane Hunter is the fullback, Willie Taver Jr., and John Fullerton are the wide receivers. Brian Murphy, a two-way player from Denver, is the tight end. Slider looking deep down the field, and that is tipped away, almost intercepted by Will Stern.
That slider there, he did pass it into double coverage. Did look like that the receiver had a chance at the ball and just couldn't reel it in with those two defenders covering him very well.
Yep, Slider trying to take a chance early down the field on 3rd down. It did not work, and so the Rattlesnakes are going to have to punt it away. And that is the first drive of the game for the Rattlesnakes. That is going to be received and pretty much tackled right there, right where he was, starting at their own 32-yard line. And Gene Struthers is going to come out.
And Curtis Walker on the kickoff return there. Didn't get much. It was great coverage by the Rattlesnakes there. Just keep the kickoff returner right where he was at.
And that is going to be 1st and 10 on the 32. Strong power I formation for the Navigators. And that is going to be a handoff to Chris Grant Jr. He's going to take it. That's a fumble, and that is recovered by Lincoln. Number 55, Jason Clay, the Week 3 signing with his first fumble recovery.
Jason Clay just happened to be standing in the right place, saw the ball on the ground, and did what he had to do, pick it up and get the ball and start Lincoln now in great field position.
And Lincoln, look at this on the 36-yard line. Just as you said, great field position. Those are the type of plays that Lincoln is needing to get this game going. 1st and 10 at the 36. Heavy formation here. Slider hands it off, and that is going to be just a few yard gain there. Looking like Logan Lee gains a 3.
The Navigators' defensive line is actually doing a really good job at stopping these runs or keeping them very short. Logan Lee didn't get much last drive. If the Rattlesnakes do want to get in the end zone, Logan Lee's going to have to find a hole and just continue up the field.
And Slider is going to be handing it back off once again, and that's a good run to the outside. And he's got some room to run. He's going to pass the 10. He's past the 5, and that is down to the 4-yard line. Logan Lee with a big gain, 1st and goal.
And that's what I was just saying before. Logan Lee had this ability last year to just find the holes, hit the holes, and run down the field. And that's what he did here. The offensive line did what they had to do to contain that defensive line. That was great in the first few plays. Logan Lee found his hole on the off tackle, and he's now 1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
And this has been a good-looking drive so far for the Rattlesnakes. From the 4. Strong eye twin formation. Slider drops back. He's going to fire, and that is going to be an end zone, and that is a touchdown. Rattlesnakes, John Fullerton with his first TD of the game.
Slider just dropped out, looked at all his receivers, took a moment, found Fullerton in the back of the end zone, and just dropped it right into his hands for those 6.
Nice little slant pattern there for Fullerton. Beautiful throw by Slider, and that's the first 7 points on the board pending the field goal. So if you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations, and real-life players compete on a virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And was that, I was looking at the other screen here, was that a missed field goal, by the way? Missed extra point?
Nah, nope. It looks like Kiefer did get that extra point.
All right, good deal. So Annapolis is going to get another opportunity here. The fumble on the last drive was really not the way they wanted to start the game, especially after last week's loss to Albuquerque. And that is going to be taken and down at the 29-yard line. So Struthers once again coming out to hopefully lead this Annapolis offense down the field.
And it was a pretty good return by number 83, Curtis Walker there, getting up to the 29-yard line. It's about where they started the drive last drive as well.
Struthers strutting his way out there. Empty set formation. Defense is shuffling around, changing the play. Struthers drops back. Looking to the outside, finds his man, and that is going to be a gain of 6. And that was Joel Harleman, the tight end, a two-way player from Jacksonville.
And that's a better start for Annapolis than they did last drive. Harleman just came out with that out pattern, was able to pick up the 6 yards and make it a manageable 2nd down for the Navigators.
If you were the Navigators, you're probably looking for something quick to get some positive yardage, and that was a great play there by the Navigators. 2nd and 4 from the 35. Bunch formation to the bottom of the screen, hands it off to Chris Grant Jr. up the middle, 1st down, a little bit more to the 43-yard line.
That Rattlesnake defense was not holding back. They put a shot on Grant Jr. He came up the hole and he was able to just dip his head, but number 23, Mr. Ham Anderson, just came up and gave him a shot.
So split back formation set from the 43. Struthers with a mid-drop, looking to the outside, makes the catch, and that is going to be at midfield. And that was Ronnie Shanahan with the catch.
I don't think there was much that the Rattlesnakes could do on defense. That was great coverage the whole thing. Jonte Jordan was there on defense to cover him. Everything just went right on both sides of the ball. Good coverage and a good throw by the Navigators.
Weak-eye joker set here for the Navigators. Hands it off to Chris Grant Jr. He's got some room on the outside, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Navigators. They're keeping this drive alive.
Navigators are doing a really good job just moving the ball upfield. They're securing the ball, make sure it's not getting on the ground again. Keep doing this. It'll be their turn to get 6 on the board.
First and 10 from the 46, just under 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Weak guy power formation, hands it off to Grant Jr., and he is stopped in the backfield. That's a big tackle there by big number 57.
Yeah, the defensive end, Jaron Musa, just came in. It looked like it was a stunt by the defensive end, and that's a wrong direction that the Navigators want to go right now.
Empty set, gun straight for the Navigators on the 48-yard line. ID all slants and just overthrows his intended target, Goldie Morrison. It's going to be 3rd and long.
The Rattlesnakes defense there was definitely giving a lot of cushion to the receivers there. If they just took a second, Strother just took a second, looked around, they might have seen another receiver to be able to toss the ball to that just was a little bit more open.
3rd and long here for the Navigators. Gun straight once again. Struthers chops back. Looking deep down over the middle, and that is caught. Ronnie Shanahan to the 28, extending the drive.
Ronnie Shanahan right there. What a great catch by him. Put his body on the line. Great coverage by the Rattlesnakes defense there. He was with them the whole way. Just extended his arms, and Struthers put that ball in the only place that Shanahan could have gotten it. Just right at the edge of his fingertips.
Looking at the Navigators offense, Gene Struthers at quarterback, Chris Grant Jr., running back Lars Bazar at fullback, Ronnie Shanahan, the two-way player from DC, and Goldie Morrison at wide receiver, and Joel Harlan is the tight end. And there is a hit to Shanahan. That's a fumble. It looks like it's recovered by Lincoln, but I am going to be pretty positive here that this will be reviewed, Mickey.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't look like he was able to make a football move there. It should be an incomplete pass just looking at that replay.
Well, we'll see if R62 is going to get the challenge here. And, yep, there is a challenge. Jay Hayden's going to throw the flag out. And we're going to take a look at this, but I'm pretty positive. I think we're both right here that this is an incomplete pass.
Yeah, there was no chance that Ronnie really secured that ball there. It hit him, didn't make that football move, didn't take anything more than one step, and it just popped out. That's going to be an incomplete pass, or should be an incomplete pass.
Yep, we've seen R62 call some weird plays before, so let's see.
After review, the play stands. The receiver did not have possession of the ball and is therefore incomplete. The home team will be charged.
It is a fumble, and Lincoln gets the ball.
That's amazing. It really did not look like that he had possession of that ball.
Wow, I mean, I don't even know what to say. It didn't look like he made a football move at all, but R62 is the one who makes the call, and it's going to be a first down for Lincoln, and they're going to get a gain of 4 there. Logan Lee on the ISO run.
Yeah, it looks like Logan actually got 6 yards on that play, and what Annapolis has to do right now is just keep their heads up. They've had a couple of turnovers just in this first quarter alone. They've got to be able to keep their heads up, keep their heads in the game if they want to remain in this game.
Single back bunch set formation here for the Rattlesnakes. There's a toss play to Lee on the outside. He looks like he may have a first down. Nope, they're going to mark him just short there on the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and just a few inches.
Navigators had a defender that came into the backfield. Didn't catch his number. I'm not sure who it was. But he put a hit on Logan Lee, slowed him up to probably save the first down. But what they got to do is, if they're in that backfield, wrap up those runners and get them to the ground.
The toss play in the SFL is the Great White Buffalo. You don't ever see it. So seeing it here is kind of a surprise, and it looks like that's a strong dive handoff, and that's going to be a first down and a little bit more to keep this drive going there for the Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, Logan Lee right there is just finding the hole. He knew he only needed less than a yard to get the first down, and he definitely got that, plus a little bit extra to keep this drive going for them.
1st and 10 from the 33. Bunch set once again. And that's going to be another handoff to Logan Lee. He breaks to the outside. He breaks the tackle. He's going to get a first down a little more cross midfield, and he's going to get down just about to the 43. A big run there by Logan Lee.
And that looked almost like the identical run before that brought them down to 1st and goal on their last drive. Except on the opposite side, just goes around the tackle, looking for defenders, breaking a few tackles there, and just running upfield like Logan Lee can do.
Yeah, I believe you're absolutely right. I think that may have been actually the exact same run. I know it was at a single back formation. I can't remember if it was the bunch set or not. But 1st and 10 here, 4 wide receiver set for the Rattlesnakes. Slider hitting his check down to Logan Lee, and he is stopped in the backfield. That is going to be a loss of 2. And that tackle was made by Ulysses Yale.
Yeah, that was a huge tackle right there for the Navigators. That's what the defense needs to do. If they can get the TFLs, move Lincoln backwards during their plays.
2nd and 12 from the 45. Slider, short drop. It's a screen over to Lee, and looks like he's going to be stopped. May have just gotten a yard. Being tackled there by the Navigators.
Yeah. Mike Olson there was on the tackle, and that's exactly what they need to do. They need to try to contain Lee the best they can. Keep the Rattlesnakes offense to minimal yardage. This 3rd and long is going to be a pivotal point to see how the rest of this first quarter goes.
3rd and long here for the Rattlesnakes. 4 wide receiver set, empty backfield. Slider tries to jump up, but that is going to be a sack. And that is L.L. Volt with the first sack of the game.
L.L. Vogt just coming through the line, getting by his offensive guard right there, and taking down Slider. It was the big play. That's something that the Navigators needed right now.
And that drive was stopped there, 4th and 16. And Lincoln is going to have to punt this away. Looking like it was going to be a promising drive after the turnover, but did not materialize anything out of it. So Lincoln will have to punt this away. And, oh, that was almost blocked there. Good punt. And looks like he's going to be tackled right about the 12-yard line. And Annapolis is going to have some work to do.
And Curtis Walker there once again just getting stopped as he catches the ball. Special teams have got to block a little bit if they want to give their return specialist a chance to bring the ball upfield a little bit.
1st and 10 from the 12. Bunch formation set here for the Navigators. Struthers drops back, finding Chris Grant Jr. on the screen, and he's going to be able to get the first down and gets across the 30 and down to the 32. A very good chunk play there by Chris Grant Jr.
Great 20-yard catch and run for Grant Jr. there. Annapolis needs to get down the field, and that's a great start on this drive. It might be that sack might have been the turning point. Like I was saying before, they need to keep their heads up and stay in the game. Well, that might have been a momentum turn for the Navigators.
Yeah, definitely getting a big stop on 3rd down and then coming out with a 22-yard chunk play is going to do that for you. I'll agree with you on that. 1st and 10 from the 32. Strong eye joker set here for the Navigators. Struthers finding Chris Grant Jr. again just on the other side, and that's going to be a gain of 6.
Looks like the same play just on the other side again. Grant just catching the ball, running. If they can keep these 4, 5, 6-yard plays on 1st down, they're going to have a great drive on their hands.
Taking a look at Lincoln's defense, Anthony Robertson and Charles Michael are your defensive ends. Dimitri Mazuma is your inside linebacker. Jason Clay is your outside linebacker, along with TJ Harper. Dante Jordan and Fugu Gaipan, a week 4 signing. And look at this big play here by Chris Grant Jr. He's across the 30, the 20, the 10, and nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Annapolis.
And that was a free play for the Navigators there. One of the defensive line jumped, and here's R62 giving that signal. And Grant Jr. saw that, and he said, I'm just going to go for it. And he just kept on running and waited for somebody to touch him, and nobody did the entire way down the field.
And Annapolis just done something they did not do last week at all. Score a touchdown. And you're right. I mean, they did jump off sides, and Chris Grant Jr. just took that for himself and took it to the house. And Annapolis on the board for the first time tonight. Ending extra point could be tying this ball game up.
I do have a feeling that's exactly what the Navigators needed. They didn't score once last week against defending champion Adams. It's their first score in at least 2 weeks. Let's see if they can keep it going for the rest of the game.
Annapolis just needing a spark. That LL Volt sack may have been what it was. Just a spark they needed. On for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. Liking the game so far? Hit that like button to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As the SFL approaches its 20th anniversary season, there is much more content to come. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLm action, and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you for helping the SFL reach 10 years of operation through your viewership. Every time I read that, I always think, man, 10 years, like that's crazy.
Absolutely, and for me, I'm just in here less than a year so far, so it's been a great experience for me.
Yep, see, I've been here since 2019, I believe. So yeah, it's been a fantastic experience for me as well. So it's awesome to hear new people and people that have been around for a while have the same experiences. So the Lincoln Rattlesnakes starting from the 29-yard line, and Lincoln, if you're wanting to get a response, this will be the drive to do it. I think we're just in the first quarter, still a minute to go almost, but still need to respond with something. 1st and 10, bunch formation. Toss play to Lee, breaking to the outside, and that's going to gain a couple yards there to the 32.
Logan Lee is definitely doing his job here. One thing we haven't seen from Lincoln is anything over the air, with the exception of some swing passes to Logan Lee on the outside. Other than that, they haven't gone down the field. Slider has not thrown the ball yet, really.
Yep, and this is another heavy set formation, so you may not see a run here, and that's going to be a handoff to Logan Lee. He breaks a couple tackles, and he's going to fight his way down to the 38, and that's going to be 3rd and short for the Rattlesnakes.
That's what I was mentioning before. Logan Lee has this uncanny ability to break tackles and get the yardage that you need. Granted, he didn't get the first down, but don't be surprised if they hand it off to him again just so he could get that 1 yard, at least.
He's set here once again. Another handoff, and that is going to be a first down for Lincoln. And this has just really been the Logan Lee show here so far in the first quarter.
Logan Lee, he is the main man on that Lincoln offense.
And that is the end of the first quarter. We have a ball game so far here. 7-7 tie here in Annapolis, Maryland. We'll be back here in a moment. And we are back here in Annapolis, Maryland. Chad Rowland, your play-by-play commentator. Mickey Melillo here in the booth with me tonight. Cameron Irvine on the production. Thank you once again, Cam, for another great night of SFLm action. Lincoln from the 41. Drops back. He finds his man. That is going to be the fullback this time, it looks like. That looks like Kane Hunter finally getting some action.
I'm guessing Lincoln realized they need to kind of change it up a little bit. If they keep on giving it to Lee, this Annapolis defense is going to start keying in on him.
I don't know if you've seen that pop-up, Mickey, that just came up, but Kenny Slider, 7 yards passing so far in this ball game. And there's a toss handoff, and he breaks the tackle, and that's going to be a first down. He breaks another tackle and a 3rd tackle. Look at Logan Lee go, and he is down and finally gets tackled at the 18-yard line. This man is breaking tackles left and right, Mickey.
It looked like it was going to be a tackle for loss, but like I said before, Logan Lee has an uncanny ability just to break tackles. 3 tackles alone on that rush. He was able to get, and now they are just threatening that end zone and getting in there for another 6 before the half.
All these running back positions that are opening up in the SFL, this guy's trying to get his name out there as a possible high draft pick in this upcoming SFL or the SFL draft. So he's putting on a show tonight here in Annapolis. And that is going to be from the 18-yard line. Lincoln looking really good so far here to score again. Slider hitting the outside to Lee, and that is just going to get about a yard or 2, and it's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, definitely the Logan Lee show this evening here in Maryland. I can't see if Lincoln's going to go against using Lee as much as they are, if they're going to try and switch it up anything, but it seems to be working.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Annapolis to start mainly focusing on Logan Lee, but we'll see what happens here. Second down. It looks like over the middle pass, slider, hitting his target, and that looks like number 83, Walker.
We haven't called Mr. Walker's name much except for on kickoff returns tonight, but it's good to see Slider throw the ball over the air and switch it up. Give Logan Lee a little bit of a break.
Yeah, nice to see some positive yards to where it wasn't going to be Lee. You got to throw that defense in a little shock sometimes. Second and 10, weak eye tight end flex. There's going to be a handoff to Lee. Maybe might have gotten a yard. Not too sure. And it looks like he did not get the first down.
And Logan Lee already just starting the second quarter, 120 rushing yards. That's an amazing statistic.
Same formation once again, weak eye tight end flex. Looking like he's trying to get Annapolis to jump off sides here on 4th and 1. And let's see if they snap this ball. It'd be really interesting to see if they do, but I'm pretty sure they're probably just going to let this clock run. And indeed they do. They call a timeout. That's going to be their first timeout of the half, and that's going to bring on the field goal unit.
The week 1 signing, Topher Kiefer, coming out for this field goal. As a kicker myself, I know how sometimes these can be a little bit nerve-wracking situations. As long as he keeps his head in this, he's going to put 3 more on the board for Lincoln.
And Lincoln really had a pretty good drive. I mean, Logan Lee has just been really coming out and just running the ball really well. Want to see if Annapolis here in the second quarter adjusts that defense and tries to put Logan Lee in check. We're going to see Kiefer here come out for the field goal here. And had a little bad snap, but it is up and it is good. And Lincoln takes the lead 10-7 here with 8:14 to go in the first half.
Great job by the placeholder there to put that ball down. But the other thing was that Annapolis got in there. They were very close to blocking that kick.
Yeah, they were indeed very close. I mean, that bad snap or the bad handle there by the holder, but he was able to get the laces out, as they would say, and he had a successful field goal. So Annapolis is going to be receiving the kick, and they're going to get past the 30, and that is going to be down about to the 32-yard line. And Gene Struthers is going to come out to try to match or even take the lead.
Annapolis is going to have to make a drive here if they want to stay within striking distance of Lincoln. Lincoln's offense, as you mentioned before, Logan Lee has just been unstoppable. Annapolis is going to have to do something if they want to try and return the favor. Chris Grant Jr., as we see on the screen right now, has been great, but he has to just step up his game just a little bit more.
Strong power I formation set here. Looking like it's going to be a screen. It is to Chris Grant Jr. He's got some daylight, and he